Who's that first one? Good morning. Hello, Prince. I know that was you. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here. So, hello, Juan. No, Juan, Prince beat you to it. You are second. Yeah, the beverage looks new and on top. Okay, this, I forgot the name of it. Some kind of a berry. It's red. It's used in Persian cuisine. It's a bit sour. It's used in the rice, but it's also very good for you. It cleanses, lots of nutrients, lots of antioxidants, I believe. And I will get the name next time. I had to cook some kind of a food that I wanted this to be in it. So I searched it and I bought some. And now you can put some water on it, put it in the fridge for a couple of days, and then it gives you the red color, and it's very tasty. It's very nice. A little bit sour, but not much at all. And it's lovely. We have Saptarshi. Hello, dear. Janice Rodriguez from Rio de Janeiro. Good to see you. And Juan. Thank you, Juan. I'm good. Good to be here. Nguyen. Good evening to you too, the Vietnamese friend. So, I hope you guys had a wonderful week and things went your way and you were able to sort things out and understand a little bit more about, hopefully you've contemplated on some of the things that we've been talking since since 60 weeks ago. It's now the this is the 67th live talk that we have, either on my own Facebook page, Mind That Seeks Truth, or the Amazing Things in the World Facebook page, which we are on today. So hopefully that you've contemplated on some of the things that we discuss, and it's more clear to you the relationship between your thoughts and consciousness, fears, desires, and ego, and how they interact with each other and affect you, influence you in how you see the world, how you understand things, and how you negotiate your day-to-day challenges and opportunities. And hopefully it is not a mystery for you how your mind works, how your thoughts and consciousness work together or work against you sometimes. And by having that knowledge of understanding how your inner machine works, then you will have a better chance to be influenced by what you want to be influenced and not be influenced by what your thoughts try to make you to be influenced, while they're just all an illusion and steer you in the wrong, bring you discomfort and questions and confusion. And hopefully that will bring more clarity to you as your day goes. So, while I wait for your questions and everybody to gather, I hope you have your coffee, tea, and things available to you. And let me just All right. So hopefully by now we have enough people to start our discussion. So if you have any questions that you've been contemplating on, that's the time. Akasa, thank you very much for sharing the video. I appreciate it. Hello, Sanjay. How are you? Prince says, sir, the process of getting to know yourself through your consciousness, egos, fears, desires will never end, because as time passes by, we ourselves constantly will change, right? Yes, that's true. And we discussed about this very subject in one of my videos, which, as you know, there are over 440 videos now on the channel, which if you search a particular topic that concerns you, whether it's about your breakup or the relationship between the consciousness, thoughts, and the rest of it, you should be able to find excerpts or a long or short of a video on that subject. So please don't forget to go on my YouTube channel, which the link is up there, or my Facebook page, which again the link is up there, and share the videos that you like, and of course my site, which has the copy of my books that I've written on it. You can look at the table of contents and read a sample chapter of the books. And the consultation around the world, which I do through Skype, it's always available. You can go book a time and we can have a one-on-one and chat about what concerns you. In the meantime, Prince adds, so one has to constantly reevaluate oneself from time to time. You don't have to reevaluate. You have to be aware of the mechanism of how your thought and consciousness are interacting, and be aware of it. When you're aware of it, then you're aware of the watcher and the watched, controller and the controlled, the observer and the observed. For that, you need to go to my YouTube channel and key in the quality of life, watcher and the watched. There's a video that talks about your thoughts and consciousness and the fact that how they are following each other and are related. And that is an interesting discussion that will open your mind up to why thoughts don't have credibility, why thoughts are illusions, and what is the difference between reality and thoughts. And you will find that most thoughts in life is an illusion. The reality is the illusion that you focus on. So when you focus on a certain thing, that becomes your focal point of attention, that becomes your world, that becomes your reality, and you think of it, it's a reality. But in fact, just because you're focusing on something, just because it's occupying your mind, just because it appeared in your mind and your mind resides in you, that doesn't mean it has credibility, that doesn't mean it's reality, that doesn't mean it's an actuality. It just means you're looking at something, but you got to know what it is that you're looking at. Is it a recording, or is it a theater which is happening right in front of you? Is it the now, the flow of life? It's the happening of now? Or is it something that is dead and you're focusing on it and you have an illusion that that which is dead and you're focusing on is actually reality and has to do with the now and your flow of life? You got to be aware of these relationships, and then you will understand. It's not that you have to check yourself all the time. When you know how something works, your interpretation would be more correct. Ryan wants to know, what is my tea brand? And this is actually not tea. Okay, let me find out the name of it, name of this berry. There it is. Just one moment. It's called bearberries. So, barberry or bearberries. Oh, let's see. Barberry rice. Well, that's not rice. It's called bearberries and common barberries. Okay, here it is. Barberry. It's red, small pieces, look like currant, but it's like a red currant. A red barberry. That's the thingy. That I just put it there with water on it, let it sit for 24 hours, gives you that redness, and then you add hot water if you want on top of it. Just put half of it in the cup. It's very delicious. Niha says, yes, the reality is in the illusion, is the illusion. But it sure does affect one's behavior and induce an individual to act in a certain way. It does, but if you understand that you've been conditioned to constantly live in your memories, which is all the past and it's all dead, but yet you treat it as if it's alive and you react to it and you live in the memory, which is the past, which is dead. Therefore, the living that you call living, what you call living, is death of the past. So it is unfortunate that we spend our lives constantly one step behind the actuality, the now. If you pay attention a little bit, you will see that you're never really living. You're always one step behind. You're always living in a rerun. In other words, we are somehow programmed, or we always perceive things according to what's in our consciousness. Let's say you see a car, and if you just don't stop at seeing it, recognize it, and enjoy what you saw or recognize what you saw, you go further back and you perceive the car and connect it to a car that you saw a similar look in a certain time in the past, in a certain occasion, and you're now there, which while you're there, you actually missed what this car did, how it actually passed you by, what the actuality of that action of that car at that moment was, because you were busy perceiving it with something that you saw in the future. So what happened? You really missed the now. You spend the now in the past, but because your mind always records 24/7, you recorded it. You did record it, but you didn't spend time with it. You were not in the same time zone with it while your mind was looking at its perception of some time in the past. Let's say you're in front of an orange tree and you recognize the orange tree. You go there, you pick one up, and you look at it, and you say, oh, it looks like just as big as the oranges in my auntie's home. And now, no longer you're here with this orange, you're with that auntie's home orange tree, and the orange is there. But you did record it. You're recording everything, that this orange fell, or a raven or a hawk or whatever came and sat on that tree. You recorded it, but yet often, not every time, but often you have perceived that action that what just happened with something that happened in the past. It takes you somewhere in your memory. That's where you find most of your information, and you always compare it, and you go in there, and somehow you're distracted. You're living in the memory while that thing that just happened, you weren't with it. Yet you recorded it. When you recorded it, it goes into your memory. And next time when you see something else, that this recording is a perception of that, you go into your memory, you look at this recording. So you're always one step behind. You record the actuality that is happening, but you actually living the now in the past, which means you're always living a second-hand life. You're always one step behind of the now, and you're spending the now in the past, and the now in the future will be the past, and that's when you actually experience it. That's why you should be focused and understand that you need not to go into your consciousness, your memory all the time, and try to stay with the now and present moment and flow of life so you can experience life firsthand as it happens. Not that it happened and I recorded and later on something happened that I just remembered of what happened today. You want to enjoy and experience what happened today, now, all the time. Then you will be living with the reality and not with the perception and the illusion of a reality, something in your mind, something in the past, and you call that living. I hope that's something that didn't confuse the heck out of you, but Popa says, remember that what you were then, you aren't now. Yeah, talk about a few years. Yeah, that's right. What you were then, you're not now. You're fresh, you're new, you're totally changed. And yet, you perceive yourself. When you go into your memory and something bothers you, concerns you, you think of it as everything is still the same. Everything is changed. What is in your memory is dead, is irrelevant, doesn't even exist, shouldn't even worry about it. Samia, it's good to know. So, now that I may have confused the heck out of you all, let's see what other questions we have. William says how to live in the present and just be conscious and full attention to what is happening now without perceiving it, without trying to find what this is like something that I experienced in the past some other time. Just stay with what it is. Don't be taken off the track. Just be with the happening of the moment. Be with the water of the river that is passing by you, in front of you. Don't focus on the water of the river that has passed. Imagine you're in front of a river and there's water coming from the left side of the mountain, flowing towards you, towards this path, and you're standing here, and then it passes you by. So the water that passed you by is the past. You can't reach it. You can't do anything with it. You can't make any change to it. It's gone. Trying to focus on it, following it, and trying to reach it, interact with it, it's futile. It's just useless. The water that is about to come, is coming, hasn't reached you yet. That's your future. It's useless to try to see what's in it, try to get connected with it, or try to pick something out of it. You can't reach it. It still hasn't come around yet. The only part that is pertaining you is the part of the water of the river that is passing you by, in front of your feet. That's the one that is your reality. That's the now. That's the actuality of the flow of the water of the river that you can connect with. You can scoop down, pick up something, you can see what's in it, you can use it or make changes to it or whatever. That's where you have to be focused. But if you go into your memory every time that you see, it's like you're trying to live the water that has passed, trying to bathe in the water that has passed. It's an illusion. You may think you're wet, but you're not really. It's gone. There's no water there. So focus on the now and what's happening now, this moment, and flow with it and try to connect with this, because this is the living. The rest, this side hasn't come yet, that's the future. This side has gone, that's the past. And so this moment is the only one that you can connect and interact with, which actually adds to your wisdom and experiences. Otherwise, the rest of them is either redundant or not even here. So you just get your mind busy with illusions that they don't exist. Yes, Popa, it does affect most people because we somehow don't see things as they are. We perceive them, and we keep going in there and trying to fix things. And that is what wastes most of our time. If we recognize that life, so many things happens into it, and if we are with it, we have a better chance to advance and learn or move on from what it is that we don't want to think about or want to move on. That would be better. We have a better chance to get with the things that are about to happen and be prepared with the moment and go and look forward to what is going to be the now in the future. Because there is no tomorrow that is waiting for you. There is no such thing as tomorrow, because when the tomorrow comes, is actually today. So there's only the present moment, but we just, every time that we think we're not satisfied or we're thinking about something that hasn't happened yet, so we are either in the past thinking that what did happen, and or we are conjuring up something for the future, and we call it, it will happen, is tomorrow, but there's really no tomorrow, because when that moment comes, it's again present. It's again now. So the reality would be, the best thing would be to be with the now, because then it covers everything. Now is because of the past. So it has embodied, it includes whatever was the past. It is now. The now is because of whatever happened. So when you are focused with the now, that represents the past. And at the same time, what you do now is the building blocks of the future. So now is the only reality that represents all time zones. The past, now is because of the past. So it represents what happens. We are here because of all things that happen. So this represents, it's the fruit of the past. And then now what you do is the foundation of what's going to be in the future, as the future would be the now, and the now is because of the past as it is now. Therefore, now is the foundation of the future and is because of the past, the fruit of the past. So the now is everything. Now is the past and future. Now is the most important. So how you deal with the now is the quality of your life that in the future will be. So pay attention to now. That's the most important. The rest of it is all inconsequential. Well, it's irrelevant. This is your actuality. This is your reality. Focus on the now, because the now is everything. You want to have a better future? Pay attention to now. The quality of what you do, the preparation of what you do, what you're learning. Learn it the best you can by paying full attention to the now. Popa says, let's blame our eyes on flesh. Blame? For late or unclear perceptions. Tomorrow is a constant today. In a way. So, now that we are all totally confused, let's see what else we can talk about. Neha says, as Popa said, the past definitely still affects the present and future. How can we control or stop our minds not to link between past and the present. Just we talked about it. Just focus on the now. It will not connect unnecessarily with the past. Past is good for the experiences that you want to draw on in order to have a better quality, safer time, and whatever it is that you've learned, to use it to create or negotiate your life. These are experiences and knowledge. These are wisdom experiences that helps you to be safer, to do your things, to recognize things, and so on and so forth. But if you go beyond that, it becomes intrusion in your ability to live life as it happens, keeps you in the past, and life passes you by. You want to be with the life as it progresses, not watching the life, but yet residing in the past and watching what is happening from the past. You're going into your memory, you're recognizing and you're aware of what's happening, but you're not interacting with it. Why? Because you're there. You can't be in two places. So choose one and be with the flow of the energy that is happening, making things happen at the very moment. And that way, you will not be in the past. You will be with the present flow. You would be part of the creation. You would be creating. You would be along in the same frequency as what movements of the universal energies at every moment, rather than trying to find refuge in the security of the past, in your memory, where you know everything. Therefore, by knowing how everything was, you feel safe and secure. That's mostly why we go in there. If it's not about memories and things, it's about feeling safe and secure, not to have to deal with things. It's like, where you're going to go hide. Train yourself to be with every moment. When you see something, see it as it is. Don't see it and say, oh, that reminds me, oh, that is the same. That is because. If you recognize what it is because of the information you have in your memory, that's good. That's enough. The rest, focus on what it is doing now, not remain in the memory while you were just trying to recognize what this is with the information and the knowledge that you have in your memory about things. It's supposed to be a reference, your memory, not the actual thing that you're writing. It's just a reference. So you refer to it and come back. If you need to refer to it. Otherwise, just stay with the present. If you go on my YouTube and watch the quality of your life, watcher and the watched, controller and the controlled, observer and observed, you will know a little bit more about this topic that we are talking about. And other than the parts that is very useful for us to have it in memory, to help us to learn and recognize and so on, you will see that consciousness, in a way, is redundant, and there's only thought. That's another subject which could be long if I get into it. So, Kumin says, can you have a special guest in your talk next time, like your son? I'm the special guest. Thank you for your interest, but I want to answer your question, so there's no possibility and for having special guests. Let's blame our eyes. Okay, we got that one. Ni hao. Wow, all right, true. Okay. Result of past and building blocks of the future is now. It's a great summary for us. Good, Ryan. Popa, Bogdan. Let's talk about now. Yeah, okay. Lion, what you're sipping on? I'm sipping on barberry, common barberry with hot water. That's it. It's quite interesting. The barberries bulge up over the night when it's in the water, and then it's a very soft and pleasant interaction with the mouth when you when you chew on it. It's quite interesting. Yeah, it's barberry, common barberry. Cumin. Is it possible for me to work for you? I like what you're doing and I want to help you help people too. Then basically you can do the same thing I'm doing, learn the stuff and help yourself to begin with. Analyze yourself, go into your mind and see it for yourself. You don't have to believe what I say. Experience it for yourself, what I say. Put it in your own consciousness. Put it in your own mind. Think about yourself. Examine it into your own mind and see if it's true or not. And I have a playlist called the Psyche on the YouTube. You can go on it. There's about 30, 40 videos, and a bunch of them, not the excerpts, the actual long videos. You watch them and you'll be very clear about how your mind and your thoughts and consciousness, ego, desires and fears are related and they work. And that will help you to also understand how this machine works. And then you can also help others. In the meantime, share my videos on your social media and and let people know about our work here, and so they'll know there's support available. Popa says, I don't believe Mehran is that rich, lol. Yeah, you're right. That's absolutely right. What is your method to change DNA frequency? If I knew that method, I would have had more hair. Devin says, just tuning in, what are we talking about? Oh, now Devin, you want us to go back and say everything we said up to now because you're late? Next time. But this is going to be uploaded just as it is, so it'll be posted, so you can rerun it, and then you'll know what we're talking about, which would be then late to ask your questions, but perhaps next time. Ari, how can I prevent regrets from derailing my ability to strive in the present? How can I prevent regrets? Just don't do it. Don't regret. My professor in university at one time, in one of the classes, I remember, it was a course called Behavior in Organization. He said, at the time one makes a decision, he or she believes that that decision is correct. Think about it. It's very true. If you didn't believe it's a correct decision, you wouldn't do it. So when you are actually doing whatever it is you're doing, at the time, if you thought about it enough, you believed it's the right thing to do. So if you pay attention to what you're doing and analyze it well, before you do it, think deep and judge well before you actually commit to something, make your decision, then you wouldn't regret it. Regret comes when you actually work hastily or you don't handle something. And then why are you regretting? Because you want to fix it. You want to change it to the way you would have done it now that is already done, and you see that you didn't like it to be done then. But at that time, that's what you think you should have done, and that was the best you could do at that circumstance. Later on, information changes, time changes, your mood changes, your anxiety changes, your ability to think maybe becomes a little bit more clear. So you can't regret it because it's not then that you're comparing it. It's a different time, you know? It's like saying, I was so hungry, I was dying, and I ate something from the ground that looks like food, and I did, and now I regret I did that. Well, at the time, with the circumstances, you felt you're going to be dying, you malnutrition for days, you hadn't eaten. Now that your tummy is full and you're sitting in a nice restaurant and everything is changed, you're regretting that. Well, it's not the same situation. So your decision was made based on how that circumstance was. And at that time, that's what you thought it's the right thing to do. I'm not saying everything that you did was right. I'm saying you should be more alert about what you're about to do, and when you do it, then there is no regret, unless, of course, there are many things that was done in a wrong way and a bad way and was not supposed to be done. It was a mistake. But still, in no sense regretting it. Learning from it is one thing, but regretting it is useless, because everything that was done is dead, doesn't even exist. So you can't even fix it. So what are you regretting for? Learn from it and make sure that adds to your wisdom, and you never be dealt in that situation again. Popa says, I would have said more eyes, but hair is just fine. Why more eyes? You mean I should have 4 eyes? I already have 4, 2 glasses and 2 in there, so I don't need more eyes. It's funny. I remember, I never wanted to have glasses. And then I hit age 50 and I didn't have glasses. And I said, oh, great. Looks like I made it. I will never have glasses. I will never need glasses because I'm 50 years old and everything is just perfect. Sure enough, within 2 weeks, my eyes were a little bit red and tired. I went to the eye doctor, and he said, oh, you got to have glasses. So that was the end of my dream, my illusion of not needing glasses. True. Some of the lessons we can avoid, of course, and we should. We should be aware that not everything should be done or acted upon. Thoughts doesn't mean they have any credibility. You got to think deep and judge well before you act in any way about anything. Popa. Every streamer needs a clown. I don't think you're a clown. We're all having a great time here. So, let's see. How far are we? I guess we have handled all the questions that we've had. Just make sure, guys, that please do check my site. Read the table of contents of the books that are there open for you and the sample chapters of each book. There's a book called The Breakup Pain Handbook, which is about relationship and breakups and so on. There's a book called Me, My Psyche and I, which talks about our psyche, fears, desires, and egos, meditation, mind, thoughts, mind-body coordination, and all these other wonderful things, sufferings and so on, small versions and small chapters, or some chapters are 5 or 6 pages, some chapters are 2 or 3 pages, and so on. And that is a very good book, I must say. And then there's a book called Transient Thoughts and Me. That's the book that talks about thoughts that appear in your head and you didn't invite them. They were unwanted, uninvited. And you wonder, what are these thoughts about? Why are they in my head? What do they mean to me? What is the relationship to me? Do they define me? Does it mean that I'm interested in those thoughts just because they appeared in my mind? All these are discussed in that. And so therefore, do check them out. And there's, of course, consultation that I have through Skype all through the week with people around the world. You can go make an appointment there if you need to talk to me one-on-one. You can do that. And there's a seminar I did on fear, the end of fear, at one of the local universities last year. That's also there. It's for about an hour. And there's an excerpt of it, 10 minutes of it, they can watch for free and then see what it is all about. And of course, you know, different things that you can check it out and see if it's of any use to you. And my Facebook page, please go on it. The link is up there, and like the page, and so we'll be in touch if there's any events or any posts. You will have lots of positive posts on that page. And of course, on Sundays we have a live talk on amazing things in the world, which I'm thankful to Witty Feed and the wonderful people in that company who've been gracious enough to create this opportunity for us to have a discussion every week about what is on our mind. Now, let's say what we have here. It says, Nitin, hello sir, how to get rid of insecurities in a relationship? Always feel as if my partner is cheating on me or could cheat on me anytime. How can I build trust between my relationship partner? You can always doubt things. You can always doubt people. You can never be sure of anybody. Anybody can do anything at any time. So what? You can't constantly worry about what other people are doing. Just focus on how the quality of your life is. What you should be concerned and help yourself to learn and cope with life as it is. People could do many things, but you can't live in their mind and hope that you will watch them from doing anything. Eventually, if they keep doing what you're worried about, it will become apparent, and then you make a decision. But before it is clear to you, or before it really happens, if you just conjure it up, then you're not living. You're just worried about something that hasn't happened, occupying your mind, conjuring up something that hasn't happened, has no reality to it. But because you're thinking about it, you're focusing on an illusion, and that illusion becomes a reality. Then you believe it because it's happening in your thoughts, and you believe your thoughts. We think what comes to our mind because it's a thought and it's happening inside me, therefore it has credibility because I have credibility. But that has nothing to do with thought. Thought is stupid. A thought is a lie. Thought is an illusion. Most thoughts are bullshit. You got to sift through bullshit and see what is not bullshit. And then see if it's useful, you use it. If it's not useful, let it pass. Like a wind. It comes, you see it, you recognize it, but that doesn't mean you should believe it or take it and allow it to interact with your life. A thought comes, it bothers you, don't pay attention to it. Pay attention to your life. Pay attention to the now. Pay attention to what is happening, what you're creating, what you're involved in. Not conjuring up something that hasn't happened, may happen, could happen, and I worry about it, but it hasn't happened. I have no reason to believe that it has, other than my own thoughts. Don't do that. So, focus on what he is, not what you think he is. If he's being nice and kind and attentive and together you have harmony, focus on that. Because otherwise you can constantly come up with all kinds of things that you have really no reason to believe it, but it's there. So train and condition your thoughts to behave rather than constantly conjuring up things. If he's doing something that you're worried about, it will become apparent. Then you make a judgment. But why should you keep doing it, worry about it? What for? Poisoning your own life. If it happened ever, then you decide. Now, it's like there's no fly or there's no mosquito, and I keep looking around. What am I going to? I'm going to look like a bloody crazy guy, constantly worried about if there is going to be a mosquito. If it did come, sat on here or close by, I could hear it, then I make my hand move and get it out of the way. Otherwise, what am I doing? Becoming a theater and wasting my time and not even able to see the ocean and other things and converse and talk to you guys. I'm constantly trying to see, maybe there is a mosquito. Well, call me a crazy guy, and you're going to turn yourself into a crazy person. Don't. Mandy says, I keep catching you. I'm going to eventually find time to check you out. Well, you're here. This is the time, so stay with us, and you'll see what it's all about. So what about that guy feeling? What do you mean? The gut feeling? Your gut feels all the time something. Every time that has a little bit of a pain, doesn't mean there's something wrong with it. It was gas. Let it go. Don't take it too seriously. And so, like, okay, what are you afraid of? Okay, he's gonna cheat on you. Okay, the world doesn't come to an end. If it does, you will know, and he will tell you. Because then, if he's cheating on them, is he like somebody else more? Why would he be spending his time with you if he's with somebody else that he likes more to cheat with? He will tell you. You will know. Then you make the selection. You make the decision. Lova. Hello, dear. That's right. Popa says, okay, Ari says, how can we deal with addiction to a person we know is not good for us in the long term, but we keep thinking about them, even if it's been over and logically we know it's best that it's over? Okay. Logically, you know it's best that it's over. Logically, you know that they're not good for you. So, when are you going to act on this logic that you're wise enough to know? It's like saying, I have a food in front of me. I can see it's got pieces of shit in it. I can see it smells like dong. I can see that it doesn't look good. It's cold and old, and I can see all the bacteria on it. But how can I stop eating it? You have all the reasons not to look at it, pass it up, throw it away. And that's what your logic is telling you. That's all the information there. You can't just be getting all that information and say, I still want it. Because then you are actually have conditioned yourself to pay with your life for the attention and affirmation that you may get from a sick person, a narcissist, or an idiot, or someone who is just unkind to you or unfair to you or just not suitable for you. But you're so hungry and needy of that affirmation, recognition, that you're willing to give everything you got just for somebody to consider you as something. Why? Why do you not respect yourself? Once you have more respect for yourself, if you have made something out of yourself, if you have understood that knowledge is good for you, learning something is for you, having a decent job, being independent, not have to, rely on some people that are not suitable for you, then you will have respect for yourself. When you have respect for yourself, you wouldn't put up with this kind of shit. And you wouldn't think about an idiot that obviously has proven to you that they're not worth to be a companion for you. So, all the things you know logically, now act on them. There is a video I have on my channel called To the Limits of Addiction. Missing your ex to the limits of addiction, or something like that. Just go on the search and on my channel, go on the search part and say to the limits of addiction. Just write to the limits of addiction. That video will come, and it tells you, why you're stuck in that. And then there's another video I have called How to Delete Memory. It's also an interesting video. Just search for how to delete memory, and then see that and see how that relates to your question here. Nitin says, thank you, sir. Very well said. A follow-up question to you: how to clear your mind and let the thoughts go? How to empty the mind and let it go with the flow? People are concerned about emptying the mind. Well, you don't need to empty the mind. You just sometimes need to give it a different task. When it's busy with that task, even that task is actually doing nothing. but that is where its focus going to be, and naturally is going to be free from the bullshit that is coming to your mind. You can achieve that in many different ways. One way is to learn meditation, which again, I have that elaborately explained in Me, My Psyche and I, the book that I have, and it tells you exactly how to meditate and so on and so forth. The other way is that you pay full attention to the present moment, have your mind and body together rather than the mind somewhere else and body busy something else, doing something else. Once you have mind and body together and they're focused on the moment that you're doing, trying to do something in life, your mind is going to be actively, positively and productively busy doing, creating something at that moment, helping you to advance. And then it won't be just conjuring up. You see, look, mind is like a TV set, a radio set. It has a capability of receiving lots and different kinds of frequencies, wavelengths, musics, programs, pictures, movies. But every time that your TV is receiving, you're watching a movie on your TV, a program from a station that is being sent from somewhere in the world, and you see that program on your TV set in your home, does that mean that your TV set, because you see it there, then it was produced on your set, by you, at your home? No, it's just something that is being seen. If you change the channel, you see something else. But that doesn't mean just because you see that on your TV set, you're the producer of it. It's just there, and it can receive. Your mind is also like a radio, like a TV set. It has capabilities of receiving all these information, the collective information that is out in the universe. And they show themselves sometimes as, you know, in your mind, in your screen, in your TV set, your brain. And you think because it came to your thoughts, it came to your mind, then it was made by you. It was created by you. You had something to do with it. Now you have to take responsibility for it. No, it's a thought. It comes in because you have a capability of receiving all these thoughts, wavelengths, and programs that is being floating around and sent out by however it is. And in the case of TV is by other stations around the world. It's being sent out, and your TV set receives these wavelengths and turns them into picture. Your thoughts, the same. It has nothing to do with you, your choice. It just happens to appear because it has a capability to receive and turn it into an understandable, recognized subject. But that doesn't mean you created it, you wanted it, you asked for it, you invited it. It just comes. So when you understand this, then you don't think that anything that appears in your head is you, or you asked for it, or you should analyze it, or something to do with you. It's there. It's like you're flipping the remote channel. There's so many things. You just flip, look at something else, then that doesn't exist anymore. Let it be because it's part of the way it is. It doesn't mean you should interpret it or make something out of it or take responsibility for it. It has nothing to do with you. Those are called transient thoughts. That must be Ida. I can't see her face, but it says Salam Mehran Jun. That must be Ida. Let me see if that I'm true. I'm correct. Let's see. No, that's David. Because there was someone else who would call me Mehran Jun. Hello, David. Where are you tuning in from? So let me go back to where this was. Nitin, I hope that answered your question. It says, I have done some mistakes by cheating on my partner and disrespecting her. Is it possible to forgive myself? How can I deal with this situation, letting the guilt go away? if you have expressed your sorrow and sadness, or expressed your apology and regret to the person that you inflicted this upon, then you can hope that she would forgive you. And if she doesn't, well, it is nothing you can do about it. The fact that you have recognized it was a mistake, that is good enough to learn from it, and don't treat anybody else that way. And you have made efforts to apologize and to seek understanding or forgiveness, and that's the best you can do. You haven't killed anyone, so that's good. So don't be too hard on yourself. It is not good to do wrong to other people, of course not. But once you recognize it, and you've recognized the mistake, and you apologize for it, or you relate that sentiment to that person, then you hope that it would be accepted, whether it is or not. It's important that you come to that conclusion, not that if it's accepted or not. When you come to that conclusion, that is good enough forgiveness, because you are the final judge about what you do, and that's where it should end. Okay, Robert, give it time. David, okay, Ida. Haha, there's Ida. I'm good, Ida. Have you been here, or are you late today? We're almost done. David says, hello, sir. I'm in Oregon. Oh, you're in Oregon. I went to school in Oregon. Fellow Iranian, and my middle name is Mehran. Oh, really? As well, just wanted to say hello. Hello, dear. I went to school in Lewis and Clark. You know, it's in Lake Oswego, Portland. You know, I mean, it's in Lake Oswego, but it's in Oregon. And if you haven't had a chance, go take a look at the campus. And perhaps you can still see my trophy on the Pampling Sports Center, you know, where I won the championship for the school for equestrian. And I hope they still have it. It's a small one, but it was quite a thing then. Lewis and Clark is a beautiful campus. And when I was there, it was only 3,000 students, but I think now they have, I guess, I don't know, 20,000. It's a beautiful campus on the hill, Capitol Hill. So take a look if you're in Portland area. Lake Oswego is just about 15 minutes drive from downtown Portland. Yeah, you are late, Ida. But it'll be posted soon once it's done. All right, David says, that's great school. I live close by to there. Oh, you live close by to Lewis and Clark. I'll have to visit it sometime. I went to Oregon State University. Yeah, yes. Oregon State, that's in Corvallis, or it's in Eugene. Sonia says, you're very handsome, Mehran. Oh, thank you. You made my day. Now, let me just feel the moment. Okay. All right. Now, do we have any more questions? My timekeeper, Prince, what time do we have? West Coast time. Ida says, Khastagari time. No, Khastagari time. I'm good now. At 12:04. Okay. I have about another 5 minutes, guys. If there's anything on your mind for the next 5 minutes or chit chat, that would be fine. Otherwise, I think we had a good session today. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. Remember to go on my YouTube channel, like the videos that you like, and share the videos that you like. Let people know that such channel exists, as I really don't know if my tags are right or not, because many people, daily basis, they say to me, why you don't have millions of viewers on your channel. And I don't know either, because I understand there are lots of things out there that don't really address things in the way that I address, but they have like 800 million viewers on each video, and as you've said to me, the contents are not really that much of interest. However, I don't know how to promote the channel any better at the time. So if you guys like a video and share it on your social media, I appreciate it. Do go on my Facebook page, which the link is up there, and like the Facebook page and be in touch and increase that. Just do whatever you can to let people know that support is there, and they would know about my work, and we would be able to help more people. Also, do check my site and take a look at the books that I've written, and the sample chapters are there, table of contents are there. And if you need to talk to me one-on-one, of course, you can always go to my site and book a time, and we'll have a Skype one-on-one, as I do that all around the week with people all around the world. Again, let's see if there's any new message here. Otherwise, how often do you do this? I do this 2 times a week, David. One is on Saturdays on Mind That Seeks Truth Facebook page of mine, and on Sundays is right here at the Amazing Things in the World Facebook page. And Nitin says, what's your schedule every week to come live? As I just mentioned, Saturday 11 o'clock Pacific time in west coast of Canada, and Sundays at the same time, 11. Ari says, I hope I can make a positive impact for as many people as you do one day. Of course you can, why not? Ida, thank you very much for your videos. Okay guys, thank you very much for being here and allowing me to share with you some opinions, and we can have this discussion, making it possible for us all to enjoy. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Hope you'll have a wonderful week. Sort things out and be good to yourself and to the others, and take good care of yourself and your loved ones. Talk to you later and see you next week. Bye for now. Thank you, David.